This week on This Night Garage, the old 65 C10 is back. Yep. I would like to be able to at least drive this thing in and out of the shop under its own power by the time this video is over with. But you know what? Can't do none of it talking to y'all, so let us get busy. Something that I never finished from a month ago, probably longer than that, was finish painting the top side of the frame. Let me get that done, and whilst it dries, we'll get this little fella inside. And I think we'll start with putting the motor in it. Anyways, y'all don't want to see paint dry, so I'll be back in a little while when I get this done. Well, I got her painted up. It looks great on camera. Yep, looks like a professional did it. Up front here too, I covered it again because a lot of it had chipped off and we had scratched a bunch of it too. Looks okay. Fixing the dragger in there. I got the winch hooked up to the old four-wheelie drive. I brought it back to life last night. If you remember, well, you saw that short video. It's about 18 minutes long. The fuel line had rotted. It was just gas going everywhere. If you're a member of the channel, well, you saw that last night. If you're not a member, well, please become one if you don't mind. Just hit the join right below this video somewhere. Also, you can join my Patreon. Over there, I post this same video, but it's ad-free on Patreon. Just if you want to support the channel that way. Also, go buy you some merch. Yep, link for merch and Patreon will be in the description below. Let's get this fella drug in the shop. This is what I have to go through every time I got to drag one in the shop that doesn't run. Yep. This is a sacrifice I make for y'all, but I'm willing to do it. Let's get her in the shop. I have to watch that little winch because it'll get outside of the drum very easily, or it'll just wrap up in one spot and just lock up. I've had to take that thing apart I don't know how many times because of that. But anyways, let's get this feller in the shop. Well, my winch is done flopped over and it's gonna get knotted up. So let me go fix that real quick like. All right, let me cut the wheels the other way, get this little feller in there. This is manual steering. Now, I know there ain't no motor in it, but it turns really good right now. If it don't get no harder than this, then we may leave it manual for a while, but I do have plans on making it power steering eventually. I'm hoping I can put a square body box on it, steering box. We shall see. Let me go check my winch. I think it's getting wrapped up again. Yes, sir, she's trying to knot up on me now. I had to stand back here and babysit our winch because you see how it does, because I got it, attached so high. I have to hold it straight. You see right there where it was trying to wind up in one spot. Let me get the truck backed up, get this truck pulled in here, and then pulled in the shop. I shall return. Remember me telling y'all that my winch, the rope will get outside of the drum real easily? Well, guess what it just did? It got outside of the drum real easily. Yeah. Let's see if I can get it untangled. My goodness. I got her unwound. We're back in business. Aggravating son of a gun, you. I'm going to stand here and babysit this thing until I have to turn the wheels. All right, now I'm going to kick that Scotch block out of the way. I'm going to let this little fella roll on up here as far as she'll go, which is approximately right there. Then we're going to turn the wheel, let her roll back. Now I got to get in the shop and bring the winch in there. Well, I got the old pile of junk in here. I think we're going to let the paint dry a little bit longer. I got to run around town for a little while. Probably going to be a short day video-wise, but I would like to get the motor set in, transmission, cross member, and then go to figuring on a drive shaft. Get our length and all that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because the drive shaft that come with this was a 2-piece. And little bitty. Well, matter of fact, I think it's outside here. Let's just go see how little bitty this drive shaft was. Look at this little fella right here. I'm gonna grab a hold of it just so you can get a frame of reference. That thing ain't, is it 1.5 inches? Good gracious. I got several old drive shafts over at Mama's. Fix to go over there. Probably just bring them all over here and then we'll figure out which ones we can use. Of course, you don't have to cut it and weld it back, but anyway, I'm gonna run to town. I'll be back in a little while and we'll work on it a little bit today. Well, as you can see, we got the motor off of the run stand. I gotta put my motor mounts back on, forgot that. Also, just eyeballing this tensioner. I believe it's out that way too far. I think that's why the belt was flopping off. So what we'll have to do is put spacers here. We might do that in a minute, but right now, if you will recall, last time we put that motor in this truck, I never could get this here bolt started. So I'm gonna drill both of them holes out a little bit larger and maybe that'll make it easier this time. Oh, my knees. My knees are absolutely killing me tonight, fellas. I don't know how long I will last out here. Whoo, yeah. I hate this drill. I really do. That's just stupid, man. Anytime it gets in a little bit of a bind, it just quits. Yeah, I may buy me an old DeWalt tonight, the one that like I lost out on the road somewhere. All right, I completely forgot where these were. You know, I had to take them off so we could put it on the run stand. So I had to just go watch the video of getting these situated so I could remember where they go. That's how bad my memory is. Yep. But if I recall correctly from that video, they were one hole back. So I got some bolts here that I shortened too because they were hitting stuff. So I got to figure that out too. This one over here needs to be a shorty, I do believe. Let me get the other one on and we'll put this motor in. Let's get this little fella in this truck, hopefully for the last time. Let her down a wee bit. Going down. Ho. Going down more. Ho. Let me go back a little more. Surely it'll go with them headers on. Oh, we're scratching up our freshly painted firewall. Oh well. Let's see now. I got to come forward is what I got to do. Forward! Ho! This header over here is hitting. That ain't good. Nope. I may have wasted money on headers that don't fit. Let me go on down with it and see what it does. Ooh, that's a little too much. Let me go back up. See if I can't get this bolt over here started. This is a very hard motor mount to get to, motor mount bolt. Can I come through the front? Probably can with my right arm, the one I can't do nothing with because I'm so left-handed. Approximately right there. Oh yeah, I got that started. All right, let me let it down, see if we can get the other one. I need to go down about 1/2 of an inch. Right there, let's see what that does. Can I get this one in this time? Let me get a, ooh, that water's cold, man. Whew. Let me get a flashlight so I can see. Now drip on me, you punk. What do we got right here? Oh yeah, I can see the hole now. We're not even anywhere close. Let me let it down some more. Going down again. Okay, I see the issue. We're hitting our headers over here in 2 places, which one of them I think we can remove that bracket. And then we're hitting right here too. So there's no need in going any further till we remedy that situation. Right here, she's hitting in that area. We probably need to bash it from here to here. Everything else there looks good. Now let me show you on the other side. We're hitting right here. So let's bash her from about there to about there, and then it's hitting this bracket here. I don't know what this is for. Something tells me it may be clutch. We may just knock your rivets out, or we may just cut this feller here. Let's go ahead and mark it. But well, that ain't gonna come down much more. So I was wondering if it's gonna hit the frame. But let's go ahead and make a mark. Bash that fella right in that area there, and about to right there. That should give us enough room. Let me figure out what this is for. We may just go ahead and remove it. Well, I'm standing back here looking at this header, and I don't remember where our inner fender went. It's very possible that this is going to hit the inner fender. So these headers may not work at all. What about this side over here? It don't stick out as far. So yeah, it's probably good. We're going to have to get that inner fender before I go to bashing anything and set it up here and just see what it looks like. We ain't going to do it tonight though, and here's why. I wasn't really planning on doing a whole lot today anyway, because my knees are killing me, and I woke up this morning, my back, left side hurting from my hip all the way down to my ankle. I told y'all I got rotten joints. So I'm gonna go in the house, get off my feet. Hopefully when I wake up tomorrow, I won't be hurting as bad, and we'll get out here and first got to get those headers situated, and then hopefully get the transmission in. Actually, I've got a shift kit coming for the transmission. I'm hoping it's gonna be here tomorrow. If it is, that's what we'll do. We'll put the shift kit in and then get the transmission in so we can get a measurement for a drive shaft. But either way, we've got to take care of this header situation. Got to bash them in 2 or 3 places, and we got to set that inner fender up there and make sure it's okay, because that whole header may not work. Anyways, I'm gonna go in the house. See y'all tomorrow. Well, the wintry weather, it is upon us. I got a kitty cat knocking at my door here. What are you doing, crazy girl? This is Betty Boop. She's about to have crazy. Anyway, the wintry weather is upon us. It's been snowing a couple hours. They're calling for like 6 to 8 inches tonight, today, tomorrow. It's either freezing rain or ice or sleet or something like that. It ain't looking good. What's not looking good also is the old fire dragon is down for the count. Yep. Woke up this morning to it not running, so I come out here to check on it, and the pressure switch on the air tank, it freezes up and it won't kick the air compressor back on. The tank was sitting on 0 PSIs. You can peck on, well, let's go out there and look at it. Well, you can see the tank is on 0 now. Pressure switch is under these rags. I thought maybe that would help insulate it, keep it from freezing up. Well, I was wrong. You can peck on it, and the compressor will come on, but then it'll pump up to 175 PSIs. That's too much. I got the switch set on like 80. It'll go to 175 before it cuts off, and then it won't come back on. That's what it did a little while ago. I pecked on it, went to 175, drained it, and it won't come back on. So here's what we're going to do. I've got some little heaters, just like a little square patch. We're going to put one of them on there with the temperature control. Set it to 50, 75 degrees. That's all it needs. Hopefully that'll keep that from happening. And when I fired it up this morning, I guess there's wooters in this line, even though I got a dryer, water separator, whatever you want to call it, on the air line. The water still gets in that line and it froze up. And I was barely getting any air, siphon air through the system. We may have to undo that and blow air through it and get the water out. Anyway, let me go to my Fire Dragon supply box and see what I can figure out what we're going to do. Well, I looked through my Fire Dragon bucket of parts. I found a temperature controller, temperature sensor. There's the heater that we're going to use. I was going to wire it up. I thought, you know, it's pretty chilly. It's 15 degrees outside. And I thought, let's fire this heat up because I'm, you know, going to work on this truck here in a little while. By the way, this is what we're working on next week and probably the next couple weeks after that. But anyway, I'm going to fire this up. Little fella won't fire up. No, sir. Let me explain to you how it operates. There's a 55-gallon drum of oil outside. It's got a pump and motor on top of it. See this yellow line? Well, that's what brings oil up to the burner. See that orange line? Well, that's the extension cord that sends power to the pump when we get a call for heat. Well, we're not getting any power out there, and I have no clue why. So let me climb up there and see what's going on with it. Because if that don't run, there won't be no video next week. No, sir, because I don't get paid nowhere near enough money to be working in 15-degree weather. I ain't doing it. Shop Fire Dragon is a-blazing. I ain't going to tell you what's wrong with it. Nope. I ain't going to tell you that I'm a doomus and I forgot to plug the air in. Yep. It's got an air-proving switch. If it doesn't see air pressure, it'll kick on. The blower fan will turn on, but that's it. It won't do nothing else. Once I got air pressure to it, yep, it fired right up. Anyway, let me get over here and wire this thing up. We'll take it out there and hopefully this is going to fix the other Fiery Dragon. Well, I got it wired up, got it plugged up. And I was going to set the temperature on, put it on like 75 degrees. Well, you hit set. And you hit the up down arrows and well, you see it don't do nothing. Nope. So let me unplug this one real quickly. And I'm going to show you what you do with things like this. Hang on just a minute. I ain't done. Wait a minute. That's what you do with things like that. Now, I don't know if I've got another one. If I don't, well, then I'm just out of luck. Let me go look through my bucket of parts again. I'll be right back. Well, I found me another one. It looks brand spankingly new, except for, see these little screws? Those are terminal blocks. That's where you plug your power, temperature sensor, heat, and cool, because it does both. Well, there's one missing over here. It was just jiggling around in there. It looked like a bad solder job, so I just pried it out and got it out of the way, because that's cooling, we don't need it. Anyway, got her hooked up, and that little fella there, she gets pretty doggone warm. Yep. I got it set for 75 degrees, I think. Let me make sure. You have to hold that button down. Well, you have to hold that button down. And temperature setting, 75. And then you scroll through, where's it at? DS. That's the difference. Now, I had that set on 5 a minute ago. This thing should have a memory, but apparently not. So, once we get her plugged in out there, I'll have to set that to 5. Because that's, ooh, it's smoking. Let me unplug it. Told y'all that little feller gets hot. Anyway, that DS, like I got it set at 75. Well, it'll cut off when this gets 75. The temperature, where's the temperature sensor? It's down here. When it senses 75 degrees, it'll shut power off to that little heater. And then something has to turn it back on. It can't just you know, back and forth, back and forth. So that 5 that I set it to, that's 5 degrees. It'll drop to 70. And then it'll kick it back on. It goes to 75, cut off. It just keeps doing that. Anyway, let's go hook this little fella up, and hopefully that's going to remedy that issue. Well, I got her hooked up. You can see the temperature's at 35 degrees. The little heater is on the bottom because heat rises. Temperature sensor is right here. When this heats up to 75 degrees, it'll turn off. When it drops to 70, it'll turn back on. I wish I had something to insulate it with, but everything I got is flammable. I'm telling you, that little heater gets hot. Anyway, y'all watch this right here. Normally, if I hit this with something, it'll jar this loose and the compressor will come on. Let me put that down there for now, but watch. We ain't gonna do it this time. What happened? Well, I messed this feller up, is what happened. Well, that's good. I don't know. Let me unplug it, or turn this off here. Leave it off for a second or two, turn it back on. Oh no, we're still erroring, and I don't know why. Well, that's good. Yep. Let me scratch my head and see what's going on. Well, I found one more. This was on the Fiery Dragon in the garage. It's no longer needed. It hasn't ran in years. So I stole it off of there. But here we are once again with another controller that does not work. I unhooked everything except for power. It still errors out. So this is what you do when you have something like this that doesn't work anymore. You don't put it back in the box. You do this. I'll pick the pieces up later. There's some there, there's some there, and I'll pick the pieces up later. Let's hook this little fella up. See if we can't get Fiery Dragon going again. It's supposed to be below freezing for several days here, and I'm running electric heat in the house right now, and that's way too expensive. Also, it has started, I don't know if that's sleet or rain. I know they're calling for a freezing rain, fellas. That's what does the damage. When your power lines and your tree limbs get weighted down with that freezing rain, it ain't good. No, sir. Anyway, let's get this little fire wired up. Maybe, fingers crossed, that this one here work. Well, I got this one wired up, turned on. Seems to be working. Smoke's coming off of our heating pad. So let me unplug it before we burn something up. And then we'll head on out to the Fiery Dragon, hook this one up, see what it does. Well, I got her hooked up. There's a controller laying down there. Ain't no error going on as before. Heating pad is on the bottom because heat rises. Temperature sensor's on the top. I may have turned the temperature down because we don't want that to get too hot, but hopefully that's going to work. Air compressor's running because I played whack-a-mole with this right after I turned the camera off, you know, when we was out here last time. I'll let her pump up. Hopefully this will heat up where it'll stop at 80 psi instead of 175, and then the thing will keep running. But I'll be back in a little while and let y'all know if this fixed it or not. The temperature's dropping over there, so we got a ways to go before we get this little fella heated up. Wish I had some kind of insulation. Everything I got will catch on fire, rags or foam. So it's just gonna have to do what it does for now. Ooh, that son of a gun, that's hot. I'm afraid it's gonna get this too hot. But anyway, I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead, turn this down to, I don't know, 50 degrees. Let me do that real quick. Go there and bring it on down to 50. All right, we got her set on 50. It's on 27 degrees right now. Hopefully it won't get this too hot. Like I said, I'll be back in a while and let you know if this works or not. I gotta get in the house. My toes are froze. I ain't kidding you. I'm gonna give the shop heater an hour or so, let it get warmed up in there, and then probably go out there and start working on 65. But I'll be back in a little while and let y'all know if this works. Well, the old Fiery Dragon's been running for a few hours now. I think what we did fixed the problem. Well, I come out here and this little fella here quit. So I gave up, went in the house. We'll come back a little while later and got it going. Of course, the shop had cooled off, but then, so I had to wait another hour or so for it to warm up. It's, I don't know, it feels like it's 50, 55. I do know my thermometers, both of them, that one, yeah, they're about 15 to 20 degrees off when it gets to, you know, 15 degrees. That one are showing 56. Yeah, that's probably right now, but this morning when it was 15, that one was showing 28. That one was showing 32. Something there, yeah, they're off when they get cold. But anyways, we're out here. We're gonna work for a couple hours anyway, get something done today. If you will recall, we left off with our headers hitting right here and then two places over there. Well, my brain finally kicked in. It's like, you dummy, if you scoot the motor back, then your headers won't hit. If you will recall, you know, when we set this motor in here the first time, it was set back here too far. I didn't like it. This is before, you know, the distributor, where we're gonna have to run coil packs. It was sitting way back here, and I was afraid the coil pack wouldn't even fit. So we scooted the motor forward, And that was that. Well, now that we got headers on it, we're hitting. We need to go back. Plus, I ain't sure this distributor ain't gonna hit the radiator. Here's where it sits, and it's awful close to it. So we need to go back for two different reasons. But the plates that mount to the motor, that the motor mounts bolt to, I've only got one more hole to scoot it back, and it's only go about a ½ inch. If you will recall though, I swapped them plates. Put them on the wrong side to get it where it is right now. So probably gonna swap them back and see what we got there, because I don't really want to go much past this bend. But we do have a couple of inches there we can play with. So let me raise the little feller up, get it out here where I can get to it. I'll swap them adapter plates, and let's just see what happens. Going up. I think I need to oil a wheel. All right, let's get this stuff here swapped. I think I Loctited these. They broke loose anyway. Oh, maybe not. Golly, Pete. I'm gonna see if the ratchet will break this loose. If not, might have to get the heat. All right, it goes. All right, let me get it off the other side. We'll swap them. I haven't took this one off completely yet because I want to do some measuring. We were in this hole here, and that puts us at 6 1/4. If we'd have moved it to here, that would have moved the motor back ½ inch because it's 5 3/4. Remember those measurements, because we need to go 1.5 to 2 inches. Let me put the other one on here, and we'll measure that, see what we can come up with. We're putting these back like they're supposed to be. That says D, and the other one says P for passenger. And here's something else too. I got these headers off of eBay. I looked them up the other night, and it says they're for LS swap into a 65 C10. So, I mean, these should work. Only thing I can think of is we either need to go back or they're using different motor mounts. I don't know, but let me get my tape and we'll do a little measuring. Let's just get a measurement. 6 1/4 is where we were. That's roughly this one. There's no way that we can have it back that far because that's the front hole and there's nothing back here. So 6 1/4 minus 2 is 4 1/4. So let us see where 4 1/4 hits. Well, it hits on this bolt right here, so that ain't gonna work. If we put it here, that is 4 3/4, so that would be 1.5 inches. That might be doable. If we put it here, that moves us, that's almost 3.5. I think that's a little too much. That's probably where we had it before. If it'll go here, let me get a motor mount and make sure I got 2 holes. We do not have 2 holes for that. So, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. The first bottom hole we got's right there. This ain't gonna work. I don't know what we're gonna do here. The first hole we got up here is gonna be this one here. What was the measurement on that? That's the 3.5. Yeah, that's gonna set us too far back. I don't know that I want to do that. Let me do some thinking, and I'll be back and let you know what I'm gonna do. I don't really like that at all. Well, fellas, I don't really have a choice but to put it here. You know, if we had this flip back around like it was, this one was here. You know, this would be the front of the motor this way. We had it here. If we moved it to here, you know, made a new hole, well, we're hitting this bolt right here. Well, if you put it here in this hole that's already there, well, then you're gonna hit this bolt over here. So about the only choice we got is to put it there. That's gonna move us back 2 3/4 inches, and I didn't want it sitting back that far into the firewall, but ain't really got a choice. Let's set it up like that and just see what it looks like. I'm just trying to figure out if I need a short bolt anywhere. I don't think I do with it like this. Any ways, we're gonna go just like it right there. I got one bolt that don't want to start. It's going cockeyed for some reason. Let me try this one here. Well, it acts like it's the hole. Yeah, let me run a tap in that, clean it up. Let's stick a bolt in there. See if that helped us out any. Oh yeah, that's good. Let me check this other one over here. Make sure it ain't messed up. Well, it's acting like it's messed up too. What the devil? Huh. Let me clean it up. And there still ain't acting right. I don't understand what's going on there. I just ran a tap through it. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give it nature's Loctite. If I can get it started semi-straight, about like that, yep. It's getting nature's Loctite. Jam it home. Hope I never have to take that loose again. All right, let me do the other side and we'll set it in there and see what it looks like. Back in we go with our squeaky wheel. Going down. Gotta go back some more. I need to go over that way too. Back a little more. Approximately right there. All right, let's get a bolt in over here, see what we got. I got this in over here. I gotta go down about right there. Let's stop it. Now can I get this little feller to line up? Not yet. Remember the trouble we had before? Well, I think I gotta go down a little bit. Going down. It might need to scoot back and then me level it out. Ooh. Ooh. By George, I think I just got it. Yep. All right, let me get a utensil, tighten that up real quick. Wrong size, yep. You moron. Got them both tightened up. What do we look like on the firewall? Yeah, that ain't too bad. I just don't like them sitting back that far, but we can still get the valve cover off, I do believe. If this was a small block shimmy lay, that valve cover would probably hit that. Yep, sure would. Let's look at the other side, you know, because they're not straight across from each other. This here's, is it shoved backwards? I think so. Yeah, see how much deeper it is in there? Coil pack would have never worked, but we ain't got to worry about that now, fellas. We got the distributor. I believe we'll be okay there. Headers, look here. No hitty hit there. What about over here? Well, I can drive a truck through that. Yep. Right there, and right there is where it was hitting. I think we're good. What is this? The clutch. I need to get rid of that little rod right there, because we won't need it. Nope. And then this in here, what is this? That's probably Speedo. It'll be okay. You know what this is going to do though, right? It's messed up our transmission mount. So we're probably going to have to re-drill the cross member holes on the frame rails. When we get the transmission in there, we'll have to do that. Speaking of transmissions, let's get the little fella up here, maybe on this table, if I can pick it up. And we'll go to putting that shift kit in it. Well, changed my mind. I didn't feel like lifting that heavy thing up and put it on that table, so we just rolled her over here on the floor. I would use the engine hoist, but it's holding the motor up because it wants to tilt way back. So we'll just do it right here in the floor. I thought I had cleaned this transmission up, but I believe I'm thinking of the 350, or what was the last thing we worked on? I don't remember. But anyway, this thing's pretty nasty, so as soon as the nasty weather is gone, we'll get this little feller outside and clean it up. Also, I think I'm gonna replace both seals. This up here has been replaced, and man, it's got R10V just caked on it. That ain't a good sign, but I think I'll go and replace both the seals. Let me get this pan off here and see what we got going on. The fluid, it looks pretty good. It ain't, you know, don't look burnt, so maybe the feller will be all right. Oh, look at there, fellers. There ain't hardly nothing in that pan. That's awesome. Maybe this is a pretty good transmission. Is this a reusable gasket? Yeah, but it's split right there and there, so may go ahead and get another gasket too. Get this filtration device out of here. Well, according to the instructions, first thing you got to do is find what they call the boost valve. Is this it here? Because you got something over here too. I believe it's this in here. And I don't even pretend to know what I'm doing here. I'm following the instructions. We had to skip step 1 and 2 because the transmission has to be torn apart to do them, and it says only do if it's torn apart. We're not tearing it apart, no sir. So we're gonna do everything else but that. I did all this to, actually, this is just a shift kit. They got several different kits. I did the HD2 kit on the, it's going the wrong way. I did the HD2 kit on the 4-wheel drive when I rebuilt that transmission. That was before YouTube. This in here is just a shift kit. Now let me figure out how you do this. I guess maybe you swap them around, yeah. Will this work, or will I have to get another set of snap ring pliers? It needs to be straight. These are bent at an angle like a 45. Well, let me go get a different pair because this ain't working. Oh, my knees, my knees, my knees. I found the straight ones for this pair. You can take these off. They got straight 45 and 90. See if we can get that little fella out now. Oh yeah, look at there, fellers. I'm hoping this magnet will pull this out of here. If not, then I don't know how you get it out. Yeah, it's coming out. There we go. There we go. Part of it anyway, the outer part. Let's get the inner part. And there you go. There's springs in there too. Will they come out? Oh yeah. There's a little one and a big one. Alright, let me get the new valve, get it put in. According to the instructions, I left something in here, so let's see if it comes out. Oh yeah. That little part right there. Alright, let me look at the instructions one more time. Because this, well, it can be two different types. I gotta see what I gotta do. Well, I'm gonna put it right back in because there's no need to do anything to it. According to the instructions, some of them will have a stem sticking out here where you put a little spacer on it. This one don't, so put that little fella back in there and hopefully it goes back in the hole where it belongs. Let me get a screwdriver and see. Yeah, she went in then. All right. There's a little collar you would put on, or spacer, if it had that stem sticking up. It don't, so we don't need that. But here's the new pressure regulator boost valve. Where'd my other spring go? Right here. You get a whoosher, small spring, big spring. Probably be wise just to go ahead and drop these down in there. Just like that right there. Just like that right there. Put the whoosher in. Oh crap. That was the innards of the boost valve. Now that ain't pushing down. I don't know how I'm gonna get that in there, fellas, because that spring's pretty tight. I'm gonna try to push this down with this screwdriver. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. and get that snap ring back on. Somebody explain that. I bet you there's a special tool you're supposed to have. No, wait a minute, it just went down. Okay, well, I ain't gonna complain. Let me get that snap ring on so that won't go down again. Push the boost valve down. Hopefully that snap ring will go on in. There it went right then. Oh yeah, we got her now, boys. Let me look at the instructions and see what's next. Next step is to pull the valve body off. Well, here's the thing. This kit didn't come with any gaskets. You gotta have one on either side of the separator plate. I don't have one, so we're not gonna get this done tonight. Anyway, let me get this valve body off. Got all the bolts loose. Let's just pull them all out. I gotta get this here tube out and away. Let's unhook our wires. Right there, and how does this one? Well, it's got a wire tie around it, so how does that work? And you got some down here with the same thing. I don't believe that's factory. I don't know who did that, but this transmission's been into. Oh, that's why, because the little clippers are broke. Yep, that's why. This transmission has been into before then. That ain't a good sign, fellers. No, sir. Hopefully it'll be alright, though. Get this pressure switch. What's got me? Why won't this come up? There it goes. Lay it over to the side to get the valve body loose. Just like that right there. Dump her over and drain her out. Next, it says to install the new 4th bolt, and that's this thing right here. I remember this on the 4L80 out of the 4-wheel drive. Seemed like these break or something. You replace it with this feller here. Is that an Allen? Yeah, I think it is. What size are you, little buddy? You're not that one. You might be that one. They don't even give a torque spec on this, so I'm gonna say Guten tight right there. Now what do we do? Install 8 check balls. I counted 7. Where is that 8th one? Okay, it's right there underneath some fluids. 6, 7, 8. All right, what is next after that then? Because they are installed. Install new cup seals into the direct and reverse feed holes with a 5/16 punch until seated. They are going to be there and there where they're gone. They're not in there. That's not good either, fellas. Let me get a flashlight, but I think they're gone. There are no cup seals in there. I don't know if this is a modification or if these are just missing, but let's put them in there. It says use a 5/16 punch. All right, let's see if we can get these little fellers in there. According to that, the black part goes down, right? Yeah. Drive it in till it's seated. That felt seated right there. There we go. I don't know the purpose of them. If y'all do, let me know. But all I know is it says put them in. What is next? Talking about this feller here. No changes here. Just check for wear and cracks on low reverse piston, low reverse band, apply, and 1-2 accumulator cover. All right, what is step 7 then? That's to the valve body. Let's get over on the table so I can get off my knees for a minute, because this is really, really painful. Oh yeah! Step 6 says install, what do they call this? The relief assembly cover. It goes just like this right here. You hold it in with 2 bolts. Then you drill, take this drill here and drill this hole all the way through. So let me get my drill. Speaking of drills, I bought me a DeWalt like my old one last night and a battery, but it won't be here for a week, so we'll have to keep using this pile of junk. Drill a hole. Am I straight up and down? Let me look inside here, see what I'm drilling. Yeah, it's flat. All right, drill it right there, I guess. Are we through already? No, it's just stopped. Yeah, we are too. All right. I'll clean this up after I get, you gotta take this off, put a new gasket on either side of your separator plate. I'll clean all this up then. But for now, well, I'll tell you what, let me get some carb cleaner and just wash it out, get it away from here. What is next? Step 7. Install spring on long stem end of valve. Put stem on. That's talking about putting this on. Can't do that because I got to have new gaskets. So what is step 8? Step 8. Between the X's on angle, drill through the partition right to left with 1/8 inch drill. Center punch location first, and enlarge with 3/16 drill. Make it easy. Makes it easy. Clean drill chips from valve body. I've got to find where this is at. This has got to be flipped over. Oh, I got to take that off. Let me go get my gun. We'll pull that off. Let me keep, oh, I done lost all the bolts. Keep them springs where they go. Put this in the drain in the pan so it don't get everywhere else. Now remove the separator plate, put it over there too. It's showing, I believe, this right here. Let's see if this spring loaded punch will work. Maybe right there. All right, let's see if we can get this drilled without any kind of mayhem happening. About right there. Uh-oh. See, I'm messing that up. How you supposed to do this, fellers? Huh. Yeah, I'm screwing that up. I need, let's see, let's do this right here. What if I put that piece of metal there to protect the aluminum? Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Put a bolt in it right there. That'll help hold it in place. Let's see what we can get done here now. I'm through. Let me get that 3/16 on here. We're through, but I ate that top surface up right there. Let me show you real quick. Put a little notch in it right there where my finger is. Hopefully that'll be okay. If not, well, we'll find out when we try to go to shift. Let me see what the next step is. Next step is step 9. There's a valve. Where did it go? Right here. It's like a little spool valve, and there's springs in there. Well, you got to knock this pin out right here. It's a little roll pin that holds the spool in. We'll get it out. There it is. Then somehow you got to get that little feller to come out. I'm not sure how you do that just yet. But when I figure it out, I'll let you know and we'll get it out. It's got an end plug. Well, it won't come out. Is there a hole somewhere to get a pick in? Yeah. Let me try that. Well, that was no small feat, but I finally got it out. This here talks about different year models, 93 and up, and then 91, 92. I looked this up, the number, I don't remember what year it is, but it is what they call the earlier ones, but it's not the first ones, I don't think. But it says 93 and up, you reuse original springs, but down here it says adjusting shift firmness, all models. For slightly firmer shifts, use outer blue. For even firmer, use inner blue by itself. Well, y'all know me, I like a hard shifting transmission, so where is that bag? We're going to use that inner blue. If it ends up being too hard, well, I guess we'll have to take it back apart or live with it. I don't know. But. All right, I'm going to use the stiffest one. It said the inner blue So if it's inner, I'm assuming it's a smaller one. So it'll be that little one instead of this big one. So that's the one I'm using. Gotta go over that little nub. Which cap? What is this? Why is there extra stuff? New steel plug, threaded end out. Okay, that helps you pull it out. Well, the original one didn't. Maybe I was supposed to drill and tap it. I don't know. But I need the O-ring. Which O-ring though? Because there's two. Interesting. I'm assuming, well, I don't really know, fellas, because it don't say. And you got two here. What are they for? Let me read ahead real quick. This one don't get an O-ring, but this one does. I'm assuming since this is bigger, get to take the bigger O-ring. So put the brown one on this here plug, just like that right there. Put her in here, just like it right there. Let's lube that up just a little bit. Now I need to put this pin back in. I don't know, let's try it. Yeah, goes that way. Alright. Alright, step number 10. There's another pin we got to knock out. It goes out that way. There's the pin, there's the nail. Now I got to fight this feller here. Get it out some kind of way. There it is. I think we discard that. Does this stuff in here need to come out? Let's see. Yes, sir, because there's a tapered plug and an O-ring. Oh, that's some kind of filter and a piston. Interesting. Let me clean that up a little bit. Remove actuator filter parts. That's what that is. Discard O-ring on the filter and original end plug. Well, let's get rid of that. Install new tapered plug with O-ring. That's this feller here, or this feller here. This goes in. Well, this won't turn sideways. Put that feller back in. New orange spring. I guess that's that feller there. And new end plug. That's this feller here. This nub, I'm assuming, goes in. And you got to get it right and get this pin in. I can't get it to go in far enough. Well, I read the rest of the instructions. It says if this plug won't go in all the way, you got to take some off this end of this filter. So let me sand on it just a wee bit. It don't need a whole lot, but it does need something. Finally got that plug in. I had to sand that little plastic filter about 63 1/4 times. Finally got it. Now we're drilling holes in the separator plate here. And here's some additional valve body ID info and tech. Remember it said earlier 91 and 92 or 93 and up on the springs. This right here tell you on your pressure control solenoid area. If it's non-vented, meaning this doesn't go all the way through the valve body, it's a 91, 92. If it's vented, it's 93. Mine is vented, so it's a 93 at least. There's another change that they did. I don't remember the year, but it's got to do with your torque converter snout. How long it is? I want to say up through 96, maybe 97. And then 98, they changed it. I don't remember. I know I had to figure that out, though, so I could get the right torque converter. But anyway, let's get this feller orientated like it should be. And we got to drill 3 or 4 holes. Let me read this here, and I'll get the correct drill bits out, and we'll drill them. It says drill hole A and B, which is going to be right here, and then right here to 93 to 125 thousandths. So I picked somewhere in the middle. We're going to do 110 thousandths. Let's start with this one right here. Make sure that's the right one. You got that, you got that. 2 holes, yep. All right. All right, there's that one. The second one Gonna be right here. Correct? Got that, curved, that, yep. All right. That was almost 110. Then it says drill hole C, which is this one here, to 3/16. I believe that's what this feller here was. Let me measure it to make sure. 186, yep. So this one right here will get 3/16. Now it's talking plate VB and PCS matching. It's got to do with if it's early or late. I don't fully understand it because it's kind of confusing, so I think that's the last step. Then we have to put it together. I can't do that because I don't have the gaskets. So let me study on this and see what they're talking about. When I was a wee child growing up, I remember all the old people used to say, man, this weather is really hurting my joints. I used to think y'all are crazy. Well, now that I'm an older people, I completely understand it, fellas. This cold weather, 15-degree weather, my knee, I'm telling you, I'm in some severe pain. My knees are killing me tonight. So I'm fixing to call it a day, gonna go in the house. I'm gonna study on this to see what they're talking about. Tomorrow I will try to find some valve body gaskets. I gotta get transmission fluid. It seems like there's something else I need. I'll remember eventually. I'll try to get all that done. I reckon I'll see y'all Monday, because tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday's day of rest. That's what I plan on doing. I hope y'all do the same. See y'all Monday. Well, I am in the shop in the dark because lights went out about an hour ago, yo. Not too long after the rain started, you know, and of course it turned into freezing rain. My lights flickered about 5 times and then they ain't come on since. I can see across the field there, let me zoom in. See that bucket truck right there next to my mailbox. But they're not fixing mine because mine comes from that away, from the highway. So I don't know when I'll get power, but I drug this generator out of the metal building. Just got it running. I pulled the carburetor apart. It was nasty, boy. Yep. Put it back together. She fired up, but I ain't got just a little bit of gas. I'm going to go to the store. Hopefully, one of these stores around here's got some power so I can get some gasolines. And I don't know, right now I got a couple of electric heaters. We're going to run off of that. And then I've got to have, the reason I'm not going to hook up the Fire Dragon right now is I don't have a way to run the indoor fan in my unit. Which this is, you know, a 240 volt. But I got to rig up a cord to run that fan with. Anyway, let me go to the store and get some gas, and hopefully we can get some heat going in the house here before too long. Well, I had to travel a little ways to get me some gasoline, find a store with power. Filled this truck up completely, filled my gas can up. There was a tree across the highway just as soon as I turned on the highway out of my road. Yeah, could barely get around it. Anyway, my brother just called. You know, he works for the power company here. Ooh, this is a tree that's hanging down, and I'm gonna hit it. All right, I made it. Anyway, brother called me. He works for the power company. Said my power might be on in a few minutes. I got, I don't know, a couple miles to get home. I'm having to drive 25, 30 mile an hour. Well, let me just show you. Yes, sir. It's been raining for several hours now. We got freezing rain. That's what gets you, fellas. That freezing rain makes the trees fall. They fall on the power lines, and you ain't got no power. Anyway, let me get on home. And that fella there just about hit me, slipping and sliding. Anyway, let me get home, and hopefully my power's on. All I gotta do is reset the Fiery Dragon. I don't have to fool with that generator. Made it to the house about 2 minutes after I got here. Look here, lights come on, but they just flickered 2 or 3 times. So I'm planning on them going out again because it's just steadily raining, fellers. Yep, them tree limbs are getting heavier and heavier by the minute. I'm gonna get this little feller put in place. Well, I don't know, I may wait because it's raining. I don't want it to freeze up. Let's do that. I'll leave it in here till I need it. I got to figure out where I'm going to put it, though. I don't want to put it around front because some sorry sucker may be coming down the road. Hey, there's a generator. Let's get it. Then I'll have to do bad things to them. I don't want to do that. Probably going to put it right on the other side of Duty Brown there. But like I said, I will wait until I need it because I don't want it to be froze up, you know. Anyways, I'm going in the house. Well, I'm going to go reset the Fiery Dragon, get that all ready. And then I'm going in the house, and hopefully the electric heat will have it warmed up in pretty good time. I'm hungry too, yeah, so I'm fixing to make me some breakfast of some kind, and then probably going to sit down and take me a nap. Yep, that's about all you can do on a day like this. Well, it's Monday, and I don't remember where I left y'all off at. I think I was trying to get the generator running, and then my lights come on. Well, I ended up taking that generator to my sister's house because their lights went out. They used it all night, then it quit generating. Well, I was going to go pick it up, bring it here, and figure out what's wrong with it. Well, my four-wheel drive quit working on my truck last night sometime, but I was still able to get around. Well, right now, let me turn the camera around. I'll just show you. She won't move from that spot right there. Well, I made it to the very top out to the road, and then it just stops because this is snow, and then freezing rain, snow, and it's melted and refroze, and yeah, pretty doggone slick. Here's the actuator. This is how this thing works. That screws into your front differential. It's got a plug, put 12 volts to it. This end here will pop out. I've worked on this before on the channel. I don't remember the video, but anyway, I pulled this off thinking maybe it would burn up. Well, I hooked 12 volts to it and the little fella popped right out. So we either got a switch that ain't activating, wire broke, something like that. So let me see if I can't figure out what's wrong with it. Well, here's the deal, fellers. I ain't got a clue. I don't know why the little fella won't work. I'm getting 12 volts to the plug where this plugs in with the truck running. I plugged this little fella in. I didn't have it screwed in. Just plugged it in. It popped out, but then it went right back in. I was like, well, that's odd. Well, then I checked to make sure I get 12 volts through this plug on this side, and I am. I've checked the ohms. It's not open. Nothing's burned up. Brought it in here. Going to hook it back up to the battery. When I put it on this post here, this fella should pop up. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Nothing happens. And I don't know. It don't make any sense. Everything checks that it should be working. But I'm not even getting any spark here now. So I don't know. If I can find a way to town, and hopefully somebody got one of these in stock, I'm going to go get it. They ain't cheap, but I got to have full drive if I want to go. So I'll let y'all know what happens. Just got back from Ireland. There's our new actuator, and I'm sitting here hugging this heater. Man, that feels wonderful. It's just absolutely freezing. I think it's 15 degrees out with a wind chill of -8, I believe is what I heard. Very chilly, yep. Anyway, new actuator. I just took an ohm reading. It's the exact same as the old one. I don't understand what's going on. But I got her hooked up to the battery here. Let's put this on the positive. Just like that right there. Let's see if the little feller starts popping out. Yes, sir. See him moving? Oh, yeah, it's slow. But she's a-moving. Yep. I don't understand why this one won't work. Because same ohm reading. I sort of think, well, I don't know. I may experiment after a while. Just cut this plug off. Hook it straight to the wire. But I'm reading ohms right there. So, I don't know, fellas. Anyway, let me put this little fella on and hopefully I can get myself out of this driveway. I need to run to Walmart for a little bit. I'll let y'all know how it goes. Well, I just plugged it into the plug where it goes here. I got the key on and the little fella started coming out. So I reckon that was the problem. Let me get this little fella put in here and then maybe I can get on out of this hole that I'm in and head to town. I really don't understand how this works. Well, I think I do, but I'm not sure. We may end up tearing this apart after a while, but we know it heats up and this pops out. Well, is there fluid in here and a seal, and this is a piston, and that fluid heats up, it expands and pushes that out? Is that how that works? Or is it gas? And either the gas or the fluid has leaked out, piston, the seal ain't holding, which won't make it push out. I don't know. Might tear it apart in a while, but I just did a test run. I made it out to the road, so we're good there. Awesome. I got to take Mom's car back then. get somebody to bring me back here, and I'm gonna head to town in the old four-wheeler drive and do what I gotta do. Here's the deal. Nobody in town has gaskets for the valve body separator plate for that transmission. I'll have to order them online, and with the way our roads are, it may be a week before I get it. I had some stuff ordered on Amazon that was supposed to be here 2 days ago. Well, they're just not delivering because the roads are so bad. I don't blame them. But, you know, what I'm saying is I'll order it online, and it may be because we're supposed to have pretty cold temperatures the rest of the week. Liable to be next week before I get the gasket, so we're going to end the video up right here. When I get them, I'll probably just go ahead and put the transmission back together off camera, and then next week, hopefully we can get that put in, get us a drive shaft made, and I would like for this little fella here, for me to at least be able to back it in and out here under its own power. So be looking for that. Anyways, good Lord willing, creek don't rise. I'll see y'all next time.